What's up, guys? I'm going to be doing a viewer question. Now, I actually recorded this many times already, and I got this perfect one that was 20 minutes long, packed with info for this viewer, and then I accidentally deleted it. It's a huge mess. I don't want to get into it. However, I've decided to record it once again for this final time, hoping it will work. So this viewer question was sent in by Loko the Panda. Now her question's really long, so I'm just going to put it down in the description. And if you guys want to read the whole thing, go ahead and just check the description below. First thing, I want to comment on a few things just from reading your message. First one is that based on this, you're really shy of a person, and that can come across bad to certain people. As a girl, it's definitely different, but for guys, confidence, at least some level of it, should be necessary, I feel. So try and be more confident. I remember like the very first paragraph you wrote, it was pretty much like a whole mess of not really saying anything. And that's something I can really very much relate to, because I used to do this quite a lot, and I've probably done it worse. But as you can see, I've gotten a lot better and I've come a long way, though I still screw up a lot. In fact, today I screwed up quite badly. Not as bad as I have before. I remember in the past, I'd go up to a girl and I'd be like, and I wouldn't say a word, but I would like try to, and then like say, like stop myself because I didn't want to say it, and then try something else and not even say it, and that'd go on for like 30 seconds. So I've come a long way, and I mean, you can kind of see, if you're a girl, why that might not be the most attractive. So work on your confidence a little bit. You don't have to be super confident, but exceptionally shy can in fact hurt your chances, and it can really very much limit you. The next thing is just let's just go to the whole question in general. So Loco the Panda, basically, long story short, she plays table tennis and she goes to this tournament, and she saw this guy there, but she didn't really have that much time to talk because they're playing table tennis, and she feels like she missed her chance, and she's wondering if she maybe stared at this guy too much, and how can she possibly do something to catch his eye, or potentially get a conversation going. And she says she'll see this guy again in a few weeks when they come together again for this like inter school tournament, and she's wondering what to do. And the kicker is that this guy is some sort of cancer patient based on his hair, which I'm assuming is he's bald or something, and she doesn't know how to go about it. Well, first off, it's really cool that you're interested in a guy who has cancer. That should be something applaudable, because that's just something for all you guys out there, just to show you that even if you have cancer, even if you have illness, if you're in a wheelchair, girls can still like you. Don't get down on yourself too much. Now, before I address the question, you did say stuff at the end, and I'm sure you were joking, but it's always a negative mindset to have, and even if you're joking, if you have this, it can lead down the wrong road. In the last few sentences, you said something like, if you don't help, I may have to kill myself. Haha. Don't ever say that. That negative thinking can lead you down a very bad road, even if you're joking. Trust me, I don't even want to elaborate any further. So here's the thing, you don't have to be super confident. For girls, it's different. For guys, I mean, let's be frank, most girls would be super turned off if you saw how inconfident I can come across off camera. Like right now, I'm fine, but when you see me, it's kind of bad. Not always, but when I'm going up to a girl I am interested in, it can be bad. So that's why I always endorse at least having a certain level of confidence to be able to engage in conversation. If you're too shy or scared to even say anything, that may be a problem. Now, based on your information, I can assess that this is most likely a guy who is just oblivious to any type of girls. Maybe he's too young to really consider it, or maybe he's just not in that state of mind yet. And that's fine. There's a lot of people like that, and it's not that they don't like you. It's just they haven't even considered it or noticed it. So first things first, you don't want to get too wrapped up in this guy until you've actually started talking to him and you get to know him. You seem to have placed a lot of value on this guy, and I don't want to even elaborate on all the stories I have where I've done stuff like this. If you want to hear them, I'm going to be uploading storytime videos, and I have in the past already, so you can check those out. But basically, you can get very hung up on someone, and for me, it was like, this is just one example. One girl who was in my class who was very popular and always surrounded with people, and she was in a sorority and stuff like that, and I had never talked to her the whole semester, and it was very hard to, because there's always people around her. She sat in like a circle of people, and when I finally did at the end, I built up so much value, and she rejected me, and it was just like, okay, why did you even put so much value into a girl? And here's the thing, it wasn't because like, well, it may have been because I came off really inconfident, but on top of that, she had a boyfriend already, and that's one thing. I feel like this could have gone somewhere had I done things differently and had she not had a boyfriend. But that's one of the fallacies of building up all this in your head for months or weeks, and then doing it before even getting to know the person. So that's just one of many examples I've experienced. So don't put too much importance on this until later on. I went for a while. Now, for actually getting to know this person, first off, I don't recommend something where you rarely see them, and then if you miss your chance, you're screwed over. That sort of the ability to do that takes a lot of courage at times, and that may be what you need. So I highly recommend the best thing to do is meet people through things where you'll see them on a consistent basis, maybe day to day or week to week, so that if you mess up or screw up, you can try again. But both cases take some sort of courage, and even for that case, you can rely on the sort of excuse that I did, where it was like, oh, I'll talk to her, I'll approach her next week, and then the next week, and then you never do, and then the semester's over. So that can be a crutch as well. The whole point of this is, because this guy's oblivious, he hasn't considered you as as someone other than just an acquaintance yet, and so forth. You kind of have to at least approach and talk to this guy. I would say start off on a friendly level. Give no signs that you're interested, because for me, at the very least, I can very easily, and it's very unfortunate, just through my body language, even if I'm just saying like, can I borrow a pencil, express that I am interested in a girl. And you won't believe the amount of times that I've screwed it up just based on this. Very recently, I was in a computer science class, and this girl came in and she sat next to me, and I had approached her in class before, just trying to be friendly, and I made a mistake of thinking that she sat next to me because maybe she actually was possibly interested. And all I said was something completely indirect, like, hey, how'd you do on the test, or something stupid like that, like, how's your day been going, or something like that. And just based on my body language, even though I was trying to just come across really cool, she knew it immediately, and then she was immediately annoyed and turned off and creeped out, and she like ignored me the rest of the class. And when she had questions, she would always be like, I'm going to ask the person to my left. And it was very obvious. So keep it cool, and you don't have to go balls through walls like I do sometimes, and go up to a girl and immediately verbally state like your interest or compliment the girl. Just start the conversation, talk about ping pong, talk about table tennis, talk about something, and keep it going from there. And then just gauge how the conversation is flowing, and everything should be natural. Once you are his friend, as a guy, he'll start thinking, this girl is interesting, or maybe, I'm not interested. And you can see it through the body language and his flow of conversation and so forth. It's a natural thing. Guys were born naturally to do this, as well as girls. Now, once you start a conversation, you may want to eventually, show signs you're interested, and there's multiple ways of doing this. A lot of this will come across subconsciously, so you don't really have to try. But certain things you can do is flirt, or just compliment him very subtly. You don't want to overdo it unless you want to go hard or go home, which pretty much means home run or strike out. Because if you come off too strong and he's not interested, but yeah, you just go from there. Compliments, flirting, just to gauge if he's interested or not. And most of it should come naturally from there. Like this is programmed into your genetics. Now, I feel like the biggest issue for you would be actually starting. Now, one of the biggest excuses I feel like you'll come up with is, why do I have to approach? I'm the girl. Or, there's no time, I'm playing table tennis. Both of these excuses have come up a lot of times for me. And what ends up happening is a lot of regret when the semester ends and I never see them again. So it's really up to you, and it's really down to how badly you want it. Certain people, like people I've met, my roommate, they're fine with just letting it go and moving on with life. For me, that regret, I didn't want it to ever happen again, in case that person ended up being someone potentially special to me. So occasionally I will still chicken out, but sometimes, especially with this guy who seems sort of oblivious, you kind of have to go out there and at least start out the conversation yourself, because he may never do it. As for the table tennis thing, that's another excuse. I mean, it is sort of a social sport, and there's always even 5 seconds, even 2 seconds where you can get in some sort of conversation, or even during the game you could talk about your swing and stuff. And it's hard, but quite honestly, you just have to try, and it's really down to how badly you want it. And don't beat yourself up too much if you chicken out the first or second time. Yeah, it takes time, and that's all I have to say. As far as follow-up videos or follow-up advice for this, I don't know if I have the time, because I've already done like so many takes of this and they failed to upload and they've been deleted. So this will be my last video on the topic. I hope it will impart enough for you. As some of you guys know, the amount of time I have is very scarce, so I'm sorry if I can't follow up with any other stuff. I hope this is enough, and as always, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe.